Hello students, welcome back to study with Deepak. Today we'll do a poem, class 9th and 10th, The Cold Within, written by James Patrick Kinney, who is an American poet who wrote this poem in 1916, and unfortunately it was first rejected as it was considered as controversial, but later on it gained popularity rapidly after being read out at a council meeting of all religions. Before we start, I'll remind you to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. Thank you. This poem is a parable which is set in the western part of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a place well known for maltreatment of the blacks, hatred towards black, and they were ignored there. Parable is a story with a moral. We start with the first stanza. 6 humans trapped by repentance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story is told. So, 6 humans were trapped. The word human in place of people is purposeful. It endorsed 6 human representative characters. The poet could have written people, but he started with 6 humans, as human beings have humanity, which is lacking in these all 6 people. 6 human trapped by repentance. Repentance is something done by chance or pre-arranged. 6 human trapped by repentance. Trapped means caught. 6 people were there who were caught or trapped in a sort of a situation where they were exposed out to the bitter cold. So they were exposed, there wasn't any cover for them, there wasn't any shield for them, and they were exposed out in the cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood. Each out of all those 6 had a stick of wood in their hand. And so the story proceeds. They died high in need of loss, but the first one held hers back. The fire was about to extinguish, it was about to die out, and the first one is a lady. She refused to give her law, for of the faces round the fire, she noticed one was black, because she noticed when she looked at the faces of all the people, all 6, including her or excluding her, all 5, one was black, and she had a sort of a hatred towards black, and you can call it racial prejudice. And it was, if you remember, in South Africa, apartheid, the policy of separation between blacks and whites. So she was one of them, and she refused to sacrifice to give her law, because that would save all 6. And out of 6, one was a black. So that's why she did not want to give her law. The next man looking across the way saw one not of his church. Now the next one, he looked at all the people around him, and he discovered that one out of those 5 apart from him was not of his church. Means he didn't belong to his religion, and could not bring himself to give, and he could not force himself to give his law, the fire, his stick of birth. So his stick, which was made up of a birth tree, he was not ready to give his law to make the fire continue, because he had the feeling that one of the person out of those 5 who didn't belong to his own religion. So in the first case, the lady refused because of the racial prejudice, and here it was because of the religion. Remember, these are the factors for which we human beings keep on fighting with each other: race, sex, religion. The third one sat in tattered clothes. Tattered means torn clothes. He was the third one, could be a beggar, a poor person. He was wearing torn clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. A hitch is a sort of a symbolic of meanness. He was very mean, and he also decided that he will not give his law. Remember, he was a poor, and generally we find those poor people, they can feel they have the sympathy also, because they want others' sympathy, they want others to have pity on them, and here he was lacking this fact. He gave up his coat a hitch. A hitch is a sudden pull, and it is a symbolic. Here again, it's a symbolic, means he was a mean fellow. Why should his love be put to use to warm the idle rich? And he thought that why should he give his love to warm the idle rich? So out of, remember there were 6 people, and if we remove this beggar or this poor people from there, still 5 were left. And he was thinking about only one person. Everybody thought about only one person. The lady thought about that black. The next man, he thought about that person belonging to some other religion. He didn't think about the other people at all. And this beggar, he thought about the rich. He thought that the rich people, they don't work hard at all, and they are responsible for their misery. So if a person is poor, rich are responsible for their misery. This is what he thought, and that's why he refused to give his law. The rich man sat back and thought. The rich man, now a rich man was also there, he was thinking, and he thought of the wealth he had in store, the wealth he had accumulated, the wealth he had acquired, the wealth he had earned, and how to keep what he had earned from the lazy, shiftless poor. Now the poor was thinking about the rich, and the rich is thinking about the poor. Now he is thinking, why to sacrifice my law to save the life of a poor person? And he had earned so much of money. He is thinking about himself, that he had earned so much of money, and these poor, they are lazy. According to him, the poor are lazy, and according to the beggar, the rich people don't work hard. Okay, and even they are lazy, and the rich people person is thinking the poor are lazy, and he thinks that they don't work hard at all, and without any ambition, they keep on moving throughout their life, and they don't have any ambition so to succeed in their life, and for that reason he refused to give his log of wood. The black man's face bespoke revenge. Not the black man. Remember the lady who belonged to white community refused to do something good for the black person, and the black person also have the same sort of hatred. It's what in this world is give and take. What you give, you get back the same. The black man's face spoke revenge. It showed revenge. He wanted to have revenge. If you remember the revenge that Shylock had, okay, for that he had that bond to take revenge from Mark Antony, and same was the revenge on black man's face. Here that Shylock was a Jew and Mark Antony was a Christian, and same sort of revenge. The black person want to take from the white. As the fire passed from his sight, for all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spit the white. So he thought that now he has got a golden opportunity. Without thinking about his own life, he was thinking about the life of others, and he was not thinking about the life of his own. He thought it's a golden opportunity to take back what the white has given to him. He thought that it's a better time to take revenge from those white people. So for that particular reason, he refused to give his law. So each and every person till now has refused to give the law, and they had a reason for it. Though the reason is irrational, it's illogical and totally, but still they had that reason. The last man of this forlorn group, forlorn means a lonely group. Remember they were only 6 in number. And why were they considered lonely? Because they were without any objective. They were about to die because of the cold, but still they had a sort of a hatred towards each other for specific reasons. The last man of this forlorn group did not accept for gain, given only to those who gave, was how he played the game. So the last man was a mean fellow. He lacked generosity. He gave or he helped only those who helped him. Okay, so he lacked generosity. He never had done something good at all in his life. He helped only those who helped him. So he refused for this particular reason, that he will help only those who give him, or those who will be giving him something. For that reason he refused to give his law. So finally, one by one, each and everyone refused. As I told you, they had a specific reason to refuse for the law. Their laws held tight in death still had. Again, they had their laws tight in their hand. They didn't want to lose their laws at all, and death still had. It's a sort of a personification. So here a personification is used to highlight the consequence of human sin. When we commit sin, and it's a consequences. The consequence means the outcome, the result of something. That was proof of human sin. So that was a big proof, a very good proof of human sin. They did not die from the cold without. Without means the cold outgoes. So they didn't die of that cold which was out. They died from the cold within. They died with the cold within. Cold within means the lack of human feeling like generosity, kindness, selflessness. Then each and everyone lacked this. They lack this human trait. In fact, the humans are made up of or built up of these things. They are nurtured in such a way that they possess these type of qualities. But with the passage of time and in this competitive world, we lack these virtues, and because of this, we are ready to sacrifice anything, and many times we get our own life sacrificed for that, and we don't count this at all. So what is the message of this poem? The message in this poem is very simple and straightforward. It asks to give us our prejudice. So we have this for others, we have this sort of a hatred towards others, we have a sort of enemy for others, we have a feeling of jealousy towards others, we have this greed, we want to accumulate more and more for ourselves. We don't want to give others anything. So that is the moral of the story, the message of the story. The rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C. Now the themes. Again the poem has two themes. One is the cold within. The cold within refers to the lack of, as I told you, the lack of feelings. And many of us develop this sort of a coldness in our hearts. The second theme is holding on to sins. Leading a life of sin, each one of us is afflicted with some kind of prejudice or sin. So we have some kind of, we have either we have sort of a hatred towards others, or we are jealous of others, we lack generosity, many times we are not kind. So we all have some other this type of quality in us. Now, as I told you, the setting, the poem is a parable, a story with a moral. The word human, as I told in the beginning, in place of people is purposeful. It endorses human characters, representative characters, the characters which we have. Now the literary devices. First is symbols. Symbol, the use of symbol is throughout the poem. You will find the use of symbol throughout the poem. Log word in each hand is suggestive of a sin. Each person's prejudice, envy, greed, revenge, spite, intolerance is thus symbolic represented in this poem by the stick of wood in each hand. The coal within is a metaphor. So that was the explanation of this poem. Thank you.